Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
We do love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. Now then, everybody, welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds for a bit of an LUFC roundup. So we'll be touching on Noah Okafor, signing for Leeds United, captain Ethan Ampadu with a injury, fullback reinforcements, and Demirovic transfer news. So let's get into it. Noah Okafor finally became a Leeds United player today after being linked for a week or two, and we've sort of known it would happen. We've heard the here we go from Fabrizio, but today his move was completed from AC Milan. The Switzerland forward joins Leeds United on a 4-year deal with an option of a 5th, and it becomes Leeds United's 9th signing of the season. Very good signing in my opinion, talent-wise, and what we need. I would suggest there's another explosive winger to come in. How that leaves the wingers that are already in there, we'll have to see. Is this a level up on what we've currently got potentially? A lot of injury concerns with a lot of our players. It seems to be a path we've gone down this summer, buying players that are talented and decent level players. Maybe that some of these players like a DCL2 and Okafor maybe are that next level up. But the reason Leeds are able to get the deals done, I think, is because there's question marks on their fitness. So a lot of clubs in Europe and maybe clubs higher up the league table of the Premier League and other big leagues around Europe aren't probably going to take the gamble on these players. Leeds United have come in, and if they get, good game time and good minutes out of them, they'll be great players for us. Okafor, really, really good player, great age, 25 years of age. Didn't quite work out in AC Milan, but he's got great competition there. But he's an explosive winger, like I say. Many goals and assists at Salzburg. Makes a big move to AC Milan and also played for Napoli last season on loan. Yeah, didn't play many minutes. But still was part of that squad that won Serie A. So it's one of those moves, I think, which is a great move for him. He gets to test himself at best league in the world. Bit of a gamble in terms of fitness, what is for the amount of money. But 18 million quid is the fee. It's not a bad amount of money, I don't think, for what the upside of this transfer could be. Hopefully he comes in on Saturday, 5:30 kickoff at the Emirates, which is highly likely after hearing Daniel Farke's press conference. He's got a full pre-season behind him. So yeah, these injury concerns and worries and fitness worries of what he's been like the last couple of years. If you look at his injury list, it's quite excessive. But in terms of fitness now, he's ready and raring to go. Yeah, tactical stuff he'll have to go through. And he's got 2 training sessions before we play against Arsenal. So hopefully he can get the information needed and he can be a part of that match day squad, which I fully believe he will be, as maybe DCL will be on bench too. So he's been at Leeds a while now. Didn't have a pre-season. That's the difference between Okafor and DCL. I could actually see Okafor maybe making a claim to start on Saturday, which I don't think Farke will, but there's a massive possibility that could happen. So we'll have to see. But yeah, this is a good deal, I think, all round. Just the injury concerns is a bit of a question mark, but it's really good to see him coming. He looks really happy, as he should do, signing for Leeds United. It's a great chance for him to resurrect his career after a couple of stop-start seasons at Milan. So moving on. Ethan Ampadu, the club captain, picked up I wouldn't say a serious injury, which is going to keep him out after the international break, an MCL in his right knee after he got injured by an Everton player, yellow card. Could it have been more? It looked a bit of a rough tackle, and he was, evidently, I was in the stands. You could see the grimace on his face. He was definitely in pain. He tried to run it off and play on, which he did for a number of minutes. Ultimately came off for Gruev in that second half, and it's a massive loss for Leeds. It's a big blow. Luckily, it isn't as long as it could have been. We've seen Ampadu out, for big spells, long spells before. He's just that kind of player he gets stuck in, doesn't he? And I think he's always going to be at the wrong side of some challenges. Puts aside first all the time. Sometimes respect for his own body and his own welfare, but he's a club captain and he does what he has to do, and he's an absolute born leader. And this is a huge blow ahead of 2 massive games. So what does what does Farke do with this one? You know, the natural replacement, the most obvious replacement is to put Gruev in. But I think against Arsenal, I don't think Gruev's physically strong enough, if I'm honest, to sort of compete with the physicality of maybe Declan Rice in there and other players at Arsenal. What I would say is he's probably going to be told to mark Odegaard, and he's such a talented player, world-class player as Odegaard. And can he do what Ampadu? Can he be as effective as Ampadu in that position and nullify Arsenal's attack? I hope so. If he's chosen, my preferred choice would be as good as Anton Stackwell going forward, and I don't want to lose that. I wouldn't mind Stacks playing as a 6 in this because I think he is combative enough. I think he could iron out a player like Odegaard and just stick with him and really frustrate. I think he'd stand up to the physical players too. Obviously, he's probably one of the most physical midfielders I've seen in a long time, especially in the Leeds shirt. And then do you play a Longstaff next to Tanaka to give you those legs, what you're going to lose with moving Stack, you know, a little bit further back? So that's what I would like to see happen. Start moving to the 6 and a Longstaff partner, Tanaka, leaving Gruev on the bench. But the most natural replacement probably is Gruev. I just think off the ball, he's not as strong as Ampadu. On the ball, he's tidy, he's efficient. Really good pre-season, one of the better midfielders in pre-season. For this game, though, I would like Longstaff to come in. He gives you that engine, those legs, physical, Premier League experience. He's played against Arsenal numerous times, a lot of times, more than Gruev obviously has as well. So I would like to see Longstaff come in, and I think that midfield three, as much as it doesn't feel as strong without Ampadu in there, and he's a captain, I really would like to see them start. And obviously it throws up who's going to be the captain. Would be all coming for this game. A lot of people have said he will, suggested he will only miss the Everton game down suspension, which is probably right. I think Pascal should stay in on merit, but I definitely think Pascal Struijk stays in the centre half now next to Rodon. The fact that the captain's armband, I would say, would naturally go to Struijk. Yes, there's other players in there. Maybe they give it to Stack. Maybe they give it to Longstaff. Maybe there's a few other candidates in there. But for me, I think Pascal Struijk remains in there now 100% based on merit, yes, but also based on being the next available player for that captain's armband. So moving on, fullback possible reinforcement. So James Justin news has come out today reporting, you know, he had last weekend, bit of an injury concern there. Again, another injured player that we're linked to it, an injury-prone player we're linked to it. He's come out today that it was just a dead leg, and he's in line to play for Leicester this weekend. Sorry, so that's good news for Leeds United. It means the deal is definitely not over, and it's still one I think will get done if he's not currently injured. It is quite important to say, you know, the deal was deemed close maybe a week and a half ago before he picked that injury up. It was getting closer. Yeah, he still played for Leicester and picked up an injury, and he may be playing for Leicester this weekend. So it's a bit of a strange one that is heavily linked with someone, and it seemed to be a deal that we're close to getting done, that he's still playing regular football for Leicester. It goes to show you how good he is now, how needed he is probably at Leicester. But it's a deal I think that will get done. And thank God it's only a dead leg. So yeah, probably, you know, a few days to recover from that, and he'll probably play some part of this weekend's game for Leicester. Hopefully that's a deal Leeds can get on the line before deadline day. So moving on, but staying on fullback reinforcements, James Hill from Bournemouth. So an ex-tweet came out early from a Bournemouth journalist, someone who deals with Bournemouth day in, day out, called Mark McAdam. Leeds United are interested in Bournemouth defender James Hill. Hill has 1 year left in his current deal, which is, you know, an area of a player's contract that Leeds always look at. 1 year left on the deal, it always makes it a likely transfer for Leeds. It's something we've looked at a few times this season, same way Sean Longstaff. He is also admired by Daniel Farke. The 23-year-old plays predominantly as a centre half, but can also play right fullback, and Leeds are obviously looking to sign a fullback. Mark McAdam reported that today. So that's one a new name that's come out. 6 foot, strong physical player, was out on loan last season. Can play fullback, but it's predominantly a centre half, so cover for both positions. Centre half, you know, we're steady there, we're sound there, but he can play it right back too, and it's cover you need. And the fact he were out on loan last season, he's played the first game for Bournemouth this season too, so he's in there. You know, he's in their squad. It looks like he'll be playing some minutes this season for them, but he isn't going to be a regular starter, I wouldn't think, at Bournemouth. At Leeds United, could you get him to come in, you know, move to another Premier League club as backup? Probably more chance of minutes. I would argue yes. We'll have to see how this one develops. Say it's a new name that's come out today. I haven't heard of him or seen anything of him prior to this afternoon. But again, a decent player, a young, talented player who potentially would move to Leeds United. So there's been no rumour of a fee, but obviously, you know, he isn't been on loan last season, only got a year left in his deal. I don't think it'd be financially a difficult move for Leeds United to make, but just want to keep your eye on. And finally, Demirovic, never really pronounce it properly. But yeah, from Stuttgart, really talented striker. A striker that could be the difference maker, albeit I do think we've got 3 really good strikers at Leeds as it is. But Florian Plattenberg, so this is sort of top tier. This is where it seems like a concrete link now after a few mentions it last week or so. But this is like a direct link, really. He remains a player to watch till deadline day as Demirovic, just in general for everyone. Stuttgart want to keep him. However, there have been many inquiries from the Premier League. Most recently, from Leeds United and Nottingham Forest. His contract runs until 2028. Demirovic is only willing to accept top offers. Top offers, Leeds United, why not? Forest are in for him too. I'm not too sure they need him. Chris Wood, Callum Wendo, and I think there's another. I reckon we may have a free hit at this one. If he fancies the coming to Elland Road, it would be fantastic. He's a top draw player. This is one that definitely excites me. He's a natural finisher. Reminds me more of like a Pirro, like a fox in the box sort of striker, but I think he's a better player than Pirro. He's like a level up on Pirro. It's a competitive spot for Leeds United, a striker so far. I would suggest you bring a player like this in. How does he keep them all happy? A little bit like Okafor coming in now at left wing. If we don't release a winger, how does he keep them all happy? Getting minutes, we'll have to see. That's the job of Daniel Farke. This is what I would love to do. This seems like the most likely striker to come in, but it's going to cost Leeds. It's going to cost us. It's going to cost probably 25, 30 million pounds has been touted, but I've heard numerous amounts. But this is one that I think would elevate us. And again, another one of those players, a bit like Okafor, a bit like a Stack, a bit like a Longstaff. I don't think you can sign these players. A Biol as well, you know, and being might be in a dogfight, but I don't think you'll go down with these players. I think these, you know, we've signed 3 or 4, well, maybe 2 or 3 already that I think are a cut above. This player would be another one. Again, as much as I like Metcher and DCL and Pirro, this you know, he would come in with Demirovic, and I think within a few weeks he'd be our starting 9. I think he's that good. But great competition again, and I love to be excited about the transfers we link with. I love that Leeds United are looking and swimming in these waters. It's class. It's class as a fan. But yeah, they're my opinions on the latest news at Leeds. Please do me a favour. Please smash a like on the video. Please subscribe if you liked it. And most importantly, have a great rest of your day. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.